Another question we have here is cash flow the same as net income? You said that buyers are buying cash flow. So if it is it the same or what's the difference?
It is different. So not to be the nerdy, I love reading tax return guy, but I love reading tax returns. So thank you. You can laugh all you want. My wife thinks it's funny too. Any agency owners out there now that are familiar with their tax returns, which they should be, you start at the top with revenue, cost of goods, get down to operating expenses, net income. Okay, that's what the government sees as your net income. Most small business owners and their accountants run a fair amount of personal items through their business, which is completely legal. It reduces your tax burden. Everybody does it. I'm a business owner myself. We do the same thing. When I talk about cash flow, I'm specifically talking about what is termed seller's discretionary earnings, or SDE. What is the true cash flow of the agency? So we really start at the net income line, Greg, and then work with our client when we do our analysis and find out what, if any, expenses that are shown on your tax return on statement one are personal. Maybe it's a retirement account. Maybe you run your car through that. Maybe meals and entertainment. Those types of owner-centric items that are specific to you, the owner, that will not necessarily carry over to a new owner. All of those items that are expense that we can justify are added to that net income number to produce the true cash flow of the business. And by the way, if the folks from Live Oak Bank were on, they'd be saying the exact same thing. What's the true SDE? What's the cash flow of the business? So generally, it's higher than the net income number. And I hope anybody just hang up when I try to explain that, because hopefully that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. Again, for those of you watching, if you have any questions, you can click on that link at the bottom of the PIA Now screen and type your question in there. And those will come right into my inbox. I don't see any more questions right now, but I want to go back to one of the things that you had mentioned to me a little earlier when we were talking about the things we might discuss on this call. You said, never take the first offer. You want to elaborate on that, Keith?
I would love to elaborate on that, Greg. So thank you. So with all due respect, there's a number of agency owners outside the Twin Cities that I've been speaking with, and many hopefully are on this webinar now. And they may be thinking about it's time to move on. And maybe their friendly competitor one county over, maybe they have a cup of coffee on occasion. Maybe the friendly competitor says, hey, Greg, when you're ready, I'd love to make this work for you. We can work out some price, work out terms. It'll be great, make your life easy, save paying any broker a fee. Just let me know when you're ready. And that sounds wonderful, and it might be. I don't want to take away from those folks that have done that. But let me give you one example that might stick with you. Greg, you're a car buff, and if not, we're going to pretend you are for this particular example. And let's say you own a beautiful mint 55 Chevy, and you original owner, original everything, you have all the tags, it's brilliant. And you have the chance to go out to Arizona there to the Barrett-Jackson auction. You're in the audience, and here rolls up your 55 Chevy ready to go. And the auctioneer looks up and describes his beautiful car and says, we'll start the bidding at $50,000. And of course, a hand raises up, and the auctioneer goes, sold. Now, you as the car owner probably just fell out of your seat, probably can't get to the auctioneer quick enough. You're like, wait a minute. What about all these other people out there that have shown interest in my car? Stick with me on this. If you sell to your friendly competitor or one interested party only, especially in today's market, you are missing out on a significant opportunity, not only to sell it for more, but perhaps find a better fit for your agency. So as you're thinking about that, at a minimum, I just urge folks to reach out, have us run our analysis. I had an example of a gentleman up north who reached out to me. Hey, Keith, I was approached. This much was offered from my agency. Can you please run your analysis for me? Happy to do it. Gathered some data, spent some time on the analysis, came back. In the end, our analysis, justified by a bank term sheet, came at just over $100,000 higher than what the friendly competitor was going to offer. And I'm not trying to say anything other than do your homework, do your research, and then make your decision.
And that is great advice. I mean, real world scenario there. So it can certainly pay. It might be a great deal, but then again, you don't know unless you check check out some other things too.
Exactly.
I don't have any other questions right now, and I think we've pretty much covered what we have decided we were going to cover, unless there's something else you think that agents have to know today.
Oh boy, have to know today, you know, and again, I hate this to come across all about us, but if you're curious, find a resource, whether it's me or somebody else, and find out what your agency is worth. Again, we do it confidentially, no charge, no obligation. Find out what's worth. If you're considering selling your agency, you heard me earlier say right now the average is 6 to 9 months to sell. So get in early, find out what it might look like. Let's get to know you. And talk to some of your competitors or some of your coworkers rather, and other agents who have sold or thinking of selling. And again, this is all confidential. So we're just here to help. And Greg, we certainly appreciate your continued support.
And Keith, we want to thank you for your support and for what you do for insurance agents in Minnesota. We know that there are a lot of agents that are getting to the age where they're considering selling or the next steps in their lives. And I guess we referred to that in our last call as the silver tsunami. And I think somebody at Education Day 1 year referred to it as that. But thank you for helping those agents out. And we appreciate what you do. I also want to thank all of you that joined us on this episode of PIA Now. We hope you appreciate these webcasts, and we will continue to bring you important topics, interesting speakers, and the things that we think you should know. Thank you again for joining us.